Hey y'all, it's Chris from Frontsight. Sorry I haven't posted a little while. Obviously you can probably tell I'm a little hoarse, just getting over a cold. Been traveling a good bit here and there lately, so it's been a little hard to put out videos, but I did want to take a few minutes and show you the 2 or 3 pieces to a Glock that I've had to replace numerously over the course of the over a decade that I've been a firearms instructor and an armorer for a police department. Since we've been talking a lot about the P320 and SIG, I did want to kind of share some of that love and talk about some issues I've had with the Glock in the past. So before we get started, I want to talk about who should be actually taking apart these firearms. If you're not a certified Glock armorer, just because you watched a YouTube video does not make you an expert, okay? I just feel like you need to go to an actual class to put hands on. One of the tools I do give you though is a Glock tool, right? Just a little punch. And the other part that we're gonna need to take out is the magazine release spring. And for that, I needed a needle nose pliers and a flathead screwdriver. So the first part I want to talk about is in the slide itself, and it is the firing pin spring. So the firing pin spring sits on the firing pin. There's a firing pin, and it sits right on top just like that, right? And you have these little cups that hold the spring in place down here, right, as it goes down here. Now, why I replaced the spring, and typically it's not, this is a Glock 21 that I have. It's not typically in most of the Glocks. The spring that I've had to replace the most has been in the Glock 30. So it's the baby 45 caliber Glock. And the reason I replaced that spring is because if the spring is supposed to be this big, but after a year or two of sitting inside your pistol, not really moving, you only shoot it a few times here and there, the spring will condense just by this much. Not even a whole lot, just one little ring short. And what that does is it causes that spring to not be as functional, and you get a lot of light strikes. So if you find yourself on the range and you're getting some light strikes, it could be bad ammo or it could be a bad spring, especially if that gun is old and that spring hasn't been replaced in a while or since you purchased the firearm. So the other 2 pieces that I've had to replace, one more than another, is the first one is the magazine release spring. So as you can see, this is a very, very tiny piece of metal. It's just a small little bar. And for 9 mils, it's not typically as big of an issue. But the Glock 21 being a 45, having really heavy magazines when fully loaded, it typically has a tendency to, as you can probably see in it, have a slight bend to it. That slight bend is not good for magazine pressure. So what happens a lot of times is, as you're shooting, sometimes this is so bent that your magazine just falls out the bottom. Or just looking at the magazine release causes the magazine to fall at the bottom. So these need to be replaced. We replace these pretty much almost every year. We replace a lot of them. So Glock never really has addressed that problem. They've never really made these more sturdy or stronger. So that's just always been an issue for us. The last part I want to talk about is the magazine release itself. Now, a lot of times when the spring goes bad, the magazine release itself, which is this piece here, is usually pretty good. It's that hard polymer. But a lot of times with a lot of training, especially if you're on a specialized unit, you have a lot of in and out, in and out, in and out with the magazine. That causes the piece right here where the magazine sits to kind of wear away. So you get the magazine, it's supposed to be like this, right? And then this piece is supposed to be like this, so it sits flush on top of itself, or on top of each other. What happens is the magazine starts to wear out, and this piece starts to wear out, so they both turn like this, and so now you have a slip, right? And that happens when you shoot the firearm. Sometimes the magazine will just fall out every single time, or almost every time, just because of the vibration of the firearm. And that's caused because you have old polymer magazines that are bad, and these plastic pieces here can also wear down. If there are some companies out there that sell metal magazines, especially for the Glock 43 and 43X. I think it's Shield Arms. You can get a metal mag and metal mag release, and that will solve that problem. Plus, it also gives you more ammunition capacity. So those are just 2 or 3 of the things. These 2 pieces here, and obviously the firing pin spring, are the 3 main pieces that I have the hardest time with, and we've had to replace the most. So y'all, I appreciate you tuning in. Again, I'm sorry I sound like I swallowed a frog, but you know, I'm still kind of getting over it. I'd appreciate it if you like this video, if you leave me a comment below in the section below, if any parts you've had problems with your Glock or any other carry firearms you've had in the past. Subscribe to this channel and tell your friends about us. Oh, and just FYI, the app will be out extraordinarily soon, next couple of weeks or so. We're looking at starting the 2-week testing phase in the next few days. So looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on the next one. Welcome to the revolution. Welcome to Front Sight.